today. I choose abundance today. I am walking the road of abundance right now, singing I choose abundance today. Love, I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of love right now, singing I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Singing I'm choosing heaven today.
Yes. Good morning again, Genesis family. For those of you who walked in during the song, glad that you're here. And I'm glad that everybody's chose to spend their Sunday morning with us. The purpose of Genesis is to be a sanctuary for the soul, grounded in universal truth. My name is Karen Williams, and I am a spiritual practitioner here at Genesis Center for Spiritual Living, and I will be your host today. Our online host is Eric, so if you're watching online, please say hello to everyone in the comments and kind of create your own community. Share your reactions and make a connection. Every Sunday we read our vision and mission statements together. So let's do that now. Our vision. Genesis empowers, our vision. Our vision. Genesis empowers everyone to express their authentic nature as unconditional love. Our mission. Genesis is an inclusive spiritual community that honors vulnerability, educates, celebrates, serves, and inspires our members, our community, and our world. I love those new statements. They're great. All right, what do we got for announcements today? Today is the day after service, the Mandala Gong Sound Bath. It's with Stephanie Wood from 12 to 2. This is a relaxing sound meditation that features gongs and other instruments to help you unwind and renew your energy. A love offering is appreciated for Stephanie's amazing healing session. We have a community Zoom meeting at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, June 17th. The board schedules community meetings several times a year to get feedback and input on what's going on, what's going well at Genesis, and what opportunities we have for improvement. So please save the date for our first Zoom meeting. Care Circle leaders, I'm not going to say that. We want all who are part of Genesis to attend, and so I expect to see you there on Zoom. Coming soon, Embodying Our Global Vision. This is a summer class, a 5-week class exploring diversity, equity, inclusion, justice, and belonging through the lens of science of mind and the CSL Global Vision. Classes meet Wednesdays at 6 p.m. on Zoom from July 1 to July 29. The tuition is $195 with an early bird of $165 if you register by June 21st, and is available online. But we really, really want to encourage everybody to attend this course. If you're looking to deepen your spiritual practice and creating a shared global vision for our world. And if the cost is an issue, well, let's have a conversation about that, right? We want to enliven this vision. Coming up in July is, also in July, is a labyrinth on Saturday, July 17. Join us for a powerful sermon and of meditated labyrinth walk with Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson. There will be opportunities to experience a 30-foot labyrinth modeled after the ancient labyrinth at Chartres Cathedral. You will also have access to additional outdoor labyrinths and finger labyrinths for personal reflection. It is always an incredible experience to walk a labyrinth. We hope to see you there. We have our monthly meditation and conversation that's on the second Sundays from 12 to 1, and that is facilitated by myself, Karen Williams. More of our monthly events are posted on our website, so feel free to go there to check it out, genesiscsl.org. And we also have a welcome table that has some flyers if you're interested in taking something home, if you need something visual, immediately visual. All right, I'm so glad to be here with you all this morning. If this is your first time, we would love to connect with you. We know everyone prefers a different method of communication, so you can fill out a connection card and drop it in the offering basket later in the service, or you can scan the QR code that is on the card. This will open up a personal line of communication. We want to provide you important information to give you everything you need to learn about Genesis and what we do here. If you have any questions, please stop by the welcome table downstairs. Christy or Cynthia or myself or any of us would love to chat with you. And there's a free gift in it also. Now that we've welcomed our guests, let's welcome and greet one another. If you aren't comfortable with hugging, just stick out your hand and we'll shake it instead. Namaste hands are a great choice for contactless greeting. You may stay seated if you prefer not to mingle. That's it. Be free. Go forth and meet and greet. Everybody is on point today. I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody who's in service today. We have a setup crew that mostly consists of those who partake in electronics, technology. That would be Jim Monson and Eric, and Gideon is also here, and they set up all the tech. We also have the hospitality that's downstairs, and that was Christy and Cynthia and Mike. Mike is downstairs. Mike is downstairs making sure everybody online has a really great experience from downstairs. Oh, hi. The light just came on. How do I look? Also downstairs is Reverend Rose, who is holding vigil for us, which just means that she is in prayer and she is holding, kind of established a container of love that we all reside in right now and that we project out to all of y'all. Our musician today, I'm so delighted to say, is Todd Kimbro. Applause is appropriate. And the food for our fellowship is provided by one of our care circles called God in Form. Excellent. We're so grateful for those who show up in service on Sundays, because we could not pull all this together without you. If you'd like to join our volunteer team, please connect with Gideon after the service or inquire at that welcome table I've been talking about. Okay, with all of our business having been taken care of, we're going to move from the head now to the heart, kind of establish that place of receptivity for our message today. So we're going to begin with a song, Breathe and Turn Within, and then we'll have a spiritual practice of breathing together to the gong. And then I will have an inspirational reading from Ernest Holmes, of course, 365 for today. And then prayer before Todd Kimbro joins us for his music. So let's breathe and turn within.
I breathe and turn within. I breathe and turn within. I open up my heart to feel God's presence. I breathe and turn within. I breathe and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's love. I breathe and turn within. I breathe and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's presence. I breathe and turn within. I breathe and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's love. I pray and turn within. I pray and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's presence. I pray and turn within. I pray and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's love. I sing and turn within. I sing and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's presence. I sing and turn within. I sing and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's love. I open up my heart and feel God's love. I open up my heart and feel God's love.
Today I consciously let go of every discord. I drop all sense of lack or limitation from my thought and every belief that I have ever had in negation or fear. Take a breath. I now have a belief in success and faith. I permit the spirit within me to express itself in perfect freedom, bringing increasing joy into my experience. There is that within me that is completely conscious of its unity with good, of its oneness with all the power there is, and all the presence there is, and all the life there is. Upon this power, presence, and life, I depend with implicit certainty, with complete confidence, and with absolute assurance. I allow the divine wholeness to flow through me into ever-widening fields of activity. Every good I have ever experienced is now increased tenfold. Every joy I have ever experienced is now multiplied. There is a new influx of inspiration into my thought. I see more clearly than ever before that my divine birthright is freedom, peace, joy, and eternal goodness. I perceive that this same birthright is bequeathed to all people. All power is delivered unto me, and this power I use for my own and every other person's good. This divine presence interprets itself to me in love. Friendship, peace, joy, and goodness are mine now and forever. And so knowing that this good of God, this good of life, this good of creation is always present. There's no time or space where it does not exist. The Spirit is infinite, limitless, eternal. It is always, in all ways, available and unfolding and creating, manifesting and demonstrating. And it does this in all of life. It does this in my life. It does this in the life of each individual here. It does this in the life of all beings everywhere. And so knowing this, I can affirm with confidence that love leads the way, that whatever is taking place, that love is at the center of it, even when we don't understand, even when it's hard. Love is the creative force of the universe. It is the creative power in our lives. Love. Love always wins, even when it seems like it doesn't. Love always wins. Love is the seen and the unseen. Love is the known and the unknown. It is all life. And so I'm grateful this morning that I know this and that I can relax into life even when it feels hard. I can bless the activity of my life. I can bless the activity of all life because I know it's going to be okay. That's what love is. It's not just okay, it's more than okay. Sometimes it's just okay, but I can bless it still. And I do so. And I know that everything that we do here at Genesis does so. It is our intention. It is our purpose. The unconditional love is who we are and what we do. And we give it freely. And so I give thanks for the way that that love moves through Reverend James today in his message. I know that it is divinely guided and directed, and that all is well. And I know that the continuation of this service is a continuation of this prayer, as is all life, and it is all good, and so it is. Todd Kimbro, will you come and entertain us for a time?
I shall. Hey. Oh, with love being the theme, this song just immediately jumped into my head. Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you is only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking that never learns to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never takes the chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give, and the soul afraid of dying that never learns to live. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember in the winter, far beneath the bitter snow, lies the sea, that where the sun's love in the spring becomes the rose.
Thank you, Todd. Amazing as usual. And thank you, Karen, for talking about the power of love in our lives. This whole month, we are celebrating higher, deeper love. Higher, deeper love. And this, we talk about the power of love, and this just gives us an opportunity to dig into all the opportunities we have to use love and all the opportunities we have to become more familiar with how we can expand its role in our lives. I do want to talk this month about happy birthdays. The sun is in Gemini from May 20th until June 21st. And we have at least one, who in here is born in Gemini between May 20th and June 21st? Okay, so Jim Munson is our #1 Gemini and is pointing to, oh, Roses as well? Excellent. All right, so Gemini's in our midst, and Joanne Rochford, who's not physically present now, but is mentally and spiritually and heart-wise present, is also one of our Geminis. And Steven Singer. So Gemini, people, according to astrology, people born in Gemini they're mutable air signs. So this means it means quite a bit. They're quick-witted, infinitely curious, effortlessly adaptable. The sun, which is Gemini's the sun sign, is our primary identity. It denotes our primary identity. And different planets denote different parts of our identity. But our primary one is, so if like Rose, Jim, and Joanne, you're born in Gemini, you have this as your primary identity. But for all of us, the sun's in Gemini, and so we have some of this Gemini energy coming to us. And so look out during the next 3 weeks for curiosity. The stars encourage our curiosity. Boredom is kryptonite for us during June. And so if you find yourself worried about being bored, scan the environment for new data, novel concepts, or a fresh perspective. Also, Geminis are good at rapid context switching. They get involved in so many things, and they can juggle like 8 balls at once and have no problem. For many of us, it seemed like too much, and for them, it's as life as usual. They love choices and options. Geminis can hold contradicting ideas in their minds at the same time, appreciating the nuance of the difference between these ideas that the rest of us would just be saying, they can't go together. Fluid communication and wit. Geminis, and I've noticed this about especially Jim, loves to translate complex ideas into words anyone can grasp. And I have 2 of my daughters are Geminis, and it's great to one of them's a school teacher, which is a natural thing for somebody who likes to juggle lots of balls at once and explain complex things in simple words. So, there was a cosmic note for Geminis. Jupiter has just moved into Gemini, and for the next 12 years, you Geminis will have a cycle of personal growth, luck, and new horizons. So you get the big boost of Jupiter. I am born in Sagittarius, which is ruled by the planet Jupiter, so that's my whole life. So welcome to the life of good luck. And expansion. So the month of June, we're talking about higher, deeper love. Our affirmation today is, I celebrate all of me as the fullness of love. Let's say this together. I celebrate all of me as the fullness of love. One more time. I celebrate all of me as the fullness of love. There's our contemplative question for today is, are you able to let love be present in the uncomfortable and the good? Even in the uncomfortable, love has a special power. So our reading today, and I think for a lot of the month, is by Bell Hooks. Bell Hooks is somebody who was actually attending University of California at Santa Cruz at the same time I was, although we were both anonymous to each other at the time. We might have walked past each other. I spent all my time in Kresge College, which is the humanistic psychology one, and she was in Lewis College, named after John Lewis of Create Good Trouble. So Bell Hooks was born in 1952 in rural Kentucky. So she was born in an era of segregation. She went to segregated schools until she went to college. And really sort of a white supremacist society back in the 50s and early 60s. Then she went to college at Stanford, got her master's in Wisconsin, and then I think she decided she'd have enough of the Wisconsin winters, and so she went back to University of California at Santa Cruz for her doctoral dissertation when we were walking around, who knows how often we ran into each other. We probably ate at all the same restaurants. Her method, she took the name Bell Hooks. This isn't the name on her birth certificate. That was her grandmother's name. And she took it because she wanted to honor her grandmother for what a strong woman she was and how she had supported the whole family. Bell Hooks also spells her name all lowercase because for her, it's not about ego, it's about working together in community. And this is her version of satyagraha, of loving of loving support for yourself. She believed that the way to empower yourself and the way to combat white supremacy is with love, with pure love and in community and supporting each other. And so she's written over 30 books about the power of love, the power of community, the power of support. She says, everyone who has witnessed the growth process of a child from the moment of birth on sees clearly that before language is known, before the identity of the caretakers is recognized, babies respond to affectionate care. And I know this, having gotten to hold 3 tiny little people. When you first come out, they don't know who you are, but they really respond to the affection. And it's nice as a parent, it's sort of overwhelmingly wonderful. So they respond with sounds and looks of pleasure. As they grow older, they respond to affectionate care by giving affection, cooing at the sight of a welcome caregiver. I always like that. I've noticed that especially with my grandchildren lately, is when they were babies especially, but even now, if they see somebody they like, walk into the room, suddenly they light up. You can see their bodies come alive. To truly love, affection is only one ingredient of love. To truly love, we must learn to mix various ingredients: care, affection, recognition, respect, commitment, and trust, as well as honest and open communications. Ernest Holmes says there is but one ultimate impulsion in the universe. This impulsion is love. This love is more than an emotional sentiment, although it must include all such emotional sentiments. It's the pure essence of divine givingness. Impelling love isn't merely for joyous moments. Love is the very presence of reality, the fundamental topic of existence. It must by its nature be present in all experiences. Embracing this truth means consciously choosing to see the underlying divine givingness in all of who we are and in every situation. So first, when we activate our power of love, we look at empathy. We think about empathy, connecting with another human being, thinking about how the love that we are is the love that they are. And even if somebody's in power, if somebody's causing, if it's a moment of pain, challenge, or discomfort, love still remains present. Even in uncomfortable spaces, our capacity for compassion, resilience, and true self-acceptance deepens. And even within ourselves, what we find in ourselves is sometimes we judge ourselves. We think, I'm not good enough. It's not enough. And the best response to that judge is to treat it like Buddha treated Mara, the demon that tormented him for years. Invite it in for a cup of tea. Use curiosity. Have empathy for that part of you that's judging. I was in a situation recently where I felt extremely claustrophobic, and I could feel the claustrophobia coming. And luckily, I had the good sense to welcome it, to say, claustrophobia, my old friend. Here you are. And it was like, I'm going to take over your mind. You got to go. And I'm like, why don't you? Boy, I know you are looking out for me. You're a good guy, and you're wanting to keep me safe. And I really appreciate you wanting to keep me safe. And what's interesting is instead of, I could see that claustrophobia was panicking, but I didn't own the panic because I was giving so much love to the claustrophobia. It was like, after a while, I was like, okay, you've heard my message. So it's nice when the judgment comes. It's nice if you have I mean, this is why we practice opening our hearts and moving into the Godness, so that we have the ability to, when the moment comes, we have the ability to call forth the empathy, to call forth the curiosity. Let's look at the next slide. This is the Course in Miracles point of view of things. Course in Miracles divides all emotions into fear-based emotions and love-based emotions. And it labels the fear-based emotions really are sort of sin, guilt, fear are some examples of them, and it's ego-based. And then you can decide to move to love-based using forgiveness is the big tool it uses. And what forgiveness does is it helps you forgive yourself and forgive others for anything that you're holding grudges for, anything that you regret, anything you wish hadn't happened. By the ability to release and forgive, you can move from the ego state and slide into the power of the Holy Spirit. Let's do the next one. This also shows you, you've seen this so many times before, but these lower emotions, the victor-abuser consciousness, this is the fear-based emotions. And you can see, if you have noticed them, they feel really contracted. That was the thing I was doing when I was feeling claustrophobic, which is literally contraction, is I was making it feel as expanded as I could. I was like, let's just expand in love. And you see love is up here. It's much expanded. It feels bigger. It's a more powerful emotion. People can use fear and anger to throw people into a state of fearfulness, to throw them into a state of contraction. But that's just your reactivity. And you as an individual and we as a collective are able to drop that reactivity and move into love. And then we're sort of protected like Teflon from this. Let's do the next slide. I have a Tai Chi move that I learned at the CSL conference in Reno from the person who first created and administered the distance learning at CSL. She now teaches these classes from her home in Encinitas, but so it's a bass drum. Why is it a bass drum? If you've seen these, if you've ever seen a marching band, somebody straps a big drum to their chest. Normally they go boom, boom, boom. But what we're going to do is we're going to be circulating our energy with it. You can do it sitting, or if you want to do it standing, you want to use Tai Chi legs. And so Tai Chi legs, you have one foot barely in front of the other, and then sort of bend your knees a little. And this lets the energy flow better, but it'll also flow if you do it seated. And then in a mindful way, you move your hands around the rim of the drum. And give yourself curiosity. Allow your curiosity to see what's going on with my hands. Is there any energy coming and moving? Am I circulating? The Tai Chi masters say what this does is it circulates our energy. All illness is caused by stagnation or depletion of energy, some by too excess of energy, and what this does is it rebalances the whole body. It also lets you move from that contraction state into an expanded state, especially if you use mindfulness and curiosity to see what's happening with your body. And now we can do it the other way. We can also switch your legs and see, how is this different? You know, I felt, when I changed, I felt a big shift of energy right here. You may feel the energy in a different way. But this is a technique you can use anytime you feel contracted. It will bring you into the present moment. Anytime you feel like you want to expand or embrace your creativity or just make your energy move. And so let's end by embracing the tiger that is our life so far, cuddly and fierce, and returning to the mountaintop where we never left. We're all still there with each other. Okay, and so we can sit now. So that's one method of moving into the present. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, so how many of you guys know Melissa and Z? Oh, yeah. Many of us. Melissa and Z are CSL ministers who decided when they were in ministry school that they would have an unusual ministry. They write and perform music, and they also do an semi-weekly advice column and cartoons. The cartoons are every single day. So anyone who, if you Google Melissa and Z, you can get on their mailing list and you get one of these crazy things every day. And what it says, as I raise my vibration, and this is moving from, in our rainbow coffee filter, it's moving from the victim abuser consciousness into the love consciousness. The judging part of me is rendered speechless. So we don't have to attack the judge or tell it we're wrong. We just need to expand ourselves while we are curious as to what the judge is going to do. I raise my vibe today. So that drummer is one way, or that bass drum exercise, moving the chi, is a way to raise our vibe. Next slide. These are other methods. You may remember some months ago we talked about positive intelligence a lot, and I'm finding new inspiration from it because it's a bunch of ways for us to manifest expansion in our lives. So there's the judge, and the question is, are you a judger or a learner? And this, whenever we make mistakes, and making mistakes is part of the human condition, especially for me, but I like that one. It's an example, self-referential. But we can learn. This is the plate that English people have when they're getting their driver's licenses. They actually have to use a learner's permit and drive with some other licensed driver in the car for a whole year, which actually, it was helpful when I first went to visit England because my cousin had his learner's permit, but he had a car and knew how to drive. I had a driver's license, which mine counted fine, even though I'd never driven in England. I just needed to be in the car, and then he could drive me everywhere, so it was a win-win. So moving into learning consciousness, empathy we talked about, this is what we experience with a baby, and the baby immediately learns how to connect with people. This person with the magnifying glass is the explorer. This is our curiosity. These guys are innovating, are looking at things in a whole new way. Then this is navigation. How do you make things happen? Once you decide what you want the world to look like, how do you get from here to there? That's an inventive way we can manifest our positive intelligence. And of course, just do it. We have to activate. Thinking about things isn't enough. It's the actual moving into doing it. And this is where having our judge as an ally instead of an adversary works too, because if you just do something, you're going to make mistakes. You're gonna redo it, but as you redo it, you get better and you learn. If you're learning, then it's all positive. Bell Hooks, our author of that we've been talking about, says, how to be self-loving is to give ourselves the love we are often dreaming about receiving from others. So to be self-loving, we give ourselves that love that we're dreaming of receiving from others. Do not expect to receive the love from someone else that you don't give to yourself first. So we want to give ourselves love first. Ernest Holmes says, the principle of love is not to be confused with mere sentimentality, although all forms of love are aspects of it. Love is the great transforming power which brings everything into harmony. It's the great transforming power. It brings everything into harmony. It's the unifying principle, the creative element, the motivating power of all that is fine and noble in life. In metaphysical treatment, it's the healing force. Love shows up not only in moments of profound joy, but also in the quiet breakthroughs where we extend forgiveness, we receive unexpected kindness, even the subtle shift in perspective during a challenging moment. So this fresh awareness allows us to recognize our loving nature. So this month we're given the opportunity to reach for a higher, deeper love all the time. And it's not just about finding love out there, but recognizing it within us, how we can contribute love. And speaking of contributing love, I want to talk about our sound bath, our workshop after the after service. After service, we're going to, get together with our delicious snacks, and then we will have a mandala. We'll have a joint mandala that we'll all be creating, and this is where we get to really lean into our creative power and use the power of love and the power of community to create something wonderful together. And I know last time we did it, it was wonderful. The time flew by, and we created an amazing mandala. And then sound baths, I have to say, I ran by what I'm about to say by Stephanie. And she said, I wouldn't say that. And I said, but I would. Stephanie likes to under promise and over deliver. So whatever I say is going to be even better. But so a sound bath it's a full body meditative experience. And there have been lots of scientific studies on sound baths. And I hadn't thought of all of these, but I've experienced all of these in the sound baths that I've gone to. It gives us mental and emotional benefits. We have rapid, deep relaxation. So regular meditation has a learning curve where you get better and better and better. And this, even the first sound bath, suddenly your brain waves are down, and you're as relaxed and as focused as a very practiced meditator for years. It's a shortcut to a relaxed state. The brain entrains with the sound frequency, shifting from beta state, agitated state of mind, to deeply relaxed states, alpha and theta, or even a dream-like liminal state. The Journal of Evidence-Based Integrative Medicine did a study and found that there's significant anxiety and stress reduction. So sound bath meditation reduces feeling of tension, anxiety, anger, and fatigue. And even if you've never done it before, you still get all those benefits. You get mood elevation and mental clarity. I love this one. What they find is that people who are depressed can shift away from their depression, and everybody is more joyful. It also increases inner peace and reduces mental confusion. Enhanced cognitive clarity. So it also activates the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and refresh system, and counters the fight and flight. So if you have that going on, one will go away and the good one comes back. It helps for pain management. I'm still not done. More to go. Vibroacoustic therapy. Sound waves travel through your skin, muscles, and bones. The body's made out of liquid, and the liquid vibrates, and it vibrates all the way inside. And so it relaxes tense muscles and reduces stress hormones. And the very last thing is it improves your sleep quality. If you have a hard time going to sleep, what it does is it just makes it easier to go from that state of consciousness to unconsciousness by relaxing everything. It facilitates the transition into theta and delta waves, so it improves sleep architecture. So I encourage you, if at all possible, to come to the sound bath, and then we can make a checklist and see how many of the experiences we are each observing. You know, we can be curious. We might not have all of them, or we might find we have other ones in addition to these. So let's say our affirmation again together. I celebrate all of me as the fullness of love. I celebrate all of me as the fullness of love. I celebrate all of me as the fullness of love. One more time. I celebrate all of me as the fullness of love. So now it's time to write our prayers. And the first step, as I am fond of saying, is if you're in the room, you've got a yellow card. If you're at home, you can go to genesiscsl.org for a prayer. The demonstration is the first part of your prayer. Anything in the world that you love is, in my mind, a prayer manifested, a prayer that's demonstrated. And so write down some instance of you creating something that you love, some instance of you praying, and this happened. Because what this does is it supercharges, it amplifies the power of your prayers, because it's then supported by your full 100% belief, because you've already done it. And then on the other side, of course, we can pray. We have prayers of celebration, prayers of gratitude, prayers of need, prayers for yourself, prayers for others. These prayers go to our practitioner corps, our ecclesiastic family, where they take the prayers and they transmute them and broadcast them to the universe with higher consciousness, giving your prayers more power and more presence in the world. now the wonderful Todd Kimbro is going to bring us even more inspiring music. Thank you, Todd.
I could not do this song. Yeah, you know, I mean, is it too on the nose? Is anything? I gotta take a little time to think things over. I better read between the lines, in case I need it when I'm older. Now this mountain I must climb feels like the world upon my shoulders. Through the clouds I see love shine. It keeps me warm as life grows colder. In my life there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can face it again. I can't stop now. I travel so far to change this lonely life. Wanna know what love is. Want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. I know you can show me. I'm gonna take a little time to look around me. I got nowhere left to hide. It looks like love has finally found me. In my life there's been heartache and pain, and I don't know if I can face it again. I can't stop now. I travel so far to change this lonely life. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. I want you to show me. And I wanna feel it. I wanna feel what love is. No, you can show me. Oh, and I feel it. Wanna feel what love is. Love that you feel inside. I know you can show me. Oh.
Yes, all of that. Thank you, Todd. Again, love for Todd. So this is an invitation now to participate in circulation, to connect with abundance and generosity. So please take a moment to offer your financial gift by using this little envelope or texting, using the donate button online. Your gift is tax deductible. If giving cash, include your name on said envelope to have the amount added to your end of year statement. Your contribution makes all of this possible. And we want you to know that you are loved, you are appreciated, and you matter. So if you're called to, please hold your prayer request and your offering close to your heart. So we say our offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am thankful. So I think Christy's going to come around right now and collect your offering and your prayer cards. And so as we just allow the basket to be passed, if you're sitting at the end of your row, just forward that to the next row. Christy will be kind of in the center to facilitate all that happening. And as she's doing that, let's sing, I Give Because I Believe.
I give because I believe in love. I give because I believe in love. I give because I believe in love, and love is given to me. I give because I believe in joy. I give because I believe in joy. I give because I believe in joy, and joy is given to me. I give because I believe in peace. I give because I believe in peace. I give because I believe in peace, and peace is given to me.
Yes. So I recognize that we have initiated the law of circulation, that as we give, so shall we receive. Pressed down, multiplied, and overflowing into our individual lives, into the lives of the collective, into the life of Genesis itself. And so for all this, I am grateful, and so it is. Thank you for joining us today. Please join us after service for food and fellowship. Fellowship is the word. I will be in the alcove back here for those who would like to pray with a spiritual practitioner. I wish everyone a week full of joy and love and true connection. So please stand and let's sing our closing song, Together We Rise.
Love in my heart, peace, I'm knowing peace in my mind, joy, I'm feeling joy in my life, we are one and together we rise, love, I'm feeling love in my heart, I'm knowing peace in my mind, joy, I'm feeling joy in my life, we are one and together we rise, together we rise, together we rise, standing in beloved community, together we rise, together we rise, through love, peace, and joy, together we rise, together we rise, together we rise, standing in beloved community, together we rise, together we rise, through love, peace, and joy. knowing peace in my mind. Joy, I'm feeling joy in my life. We are one and together we rise. Together we rise. Together we rise. Standing in beloved community. Together we rise. Together we rise. Through love, peace, and joy. Together we rise. Love, peace, and joy, together we rise.
Go forth with joy.